Hi all. This video introduces the aural skills tool we call intervals from Do, which was constructed as a means for practicing singing and recognizing the relationship between Do and the rest of the diatonic scale, but which also works well as a general purpose interval practice tool. Let's look at the basic operation of the intervals from Do app. We'll get into more specific exercises in subsequent videos. Since everything in this tool is built around Do, we need to choose a key. You can refresh your sense of the key either by playing a chord progression via the established key button or just playing Do by itself. For working on intervals from a constant Do, we'll leave the stay in key option on, but you can turn this into general interval practice by choosing one of the random options. If we want to work on all of our intervals from Do, we can dive in and click Generate or hit the spacebar. I can guess the interval using two different methods. If I know the solfege, I can click the corresponding syllable to verify it, or I can enter the interval and direction in the interval box. Let's try another. If I'm not sure of the interval, I can replay it by hitting the return key or the corresponding button, Replay Interval. If I'm still not sure, I can check the answer by clicking the Show Me button, which reveals the solfege, interval, and notation. I can also change the way that the interval is played by changing melodic only to one of the other two options. Or I can also change the length of the notes, although you'll need to choose a sustaining instrument if you choose a long duration. You have a lot of control over the types and frequency of the intervals that might be generated in the intervals from Do app. You can individually adjust the interval odds by moving the sliders for each interval, or you can select one of the presets from the menu. Note that some of these presets override the key. For example, choosing a minor preset will result in minor key intervals regardless of your key choice. We'll take a look at some of the preset options in a subsequent video. Finally, it's important to stress that the intervals from Do app is intended for both interval ID and interval singing practice. For the latter option, just change the mode selection. You'll see this changes the solfege box to a prompt. When I click Generate, I get a Do and an indication of the solfege and direction I should sing. Do, Fa. I can check my target note by clicking the Check Yourself button. I can also still practice associating solfege with intervals by entering the interval information in the interval box, like in the ID version. That's enough for now. Check out the half versus whole steps video to see a few more of the intervals from Do features. Thanks for watching, and happy practicing.